Hello, survivors, and welcome to another video. In today's video, we are back on Soulstone Survivors, and although yesterday I said that we wouldn't do another video until the update was out, well, guess what? The update is out. We are on the alpha branch. It isn't out live. It's still in the alpha testing. You can go to the alpha branch on your own. Just right-click properties on Steam, say betas, click the alpha branch, and I'll put the code down in the description for all of you to join if you want to. Now, what have they added? Well, today there's not going to be any gameplay. We're just going to go through all the juiciness. The first thing we're going to go through is that each character now has a skill list. You did see this in Nomad's video. So each character has all their weapons, what skills are unique to that weapon, the starting skill and the unique skill to the weapon, or the secondary skill for each character. So if we go to each character, you can see that they all have the new skill list, which is really good, especially when you want to try and build something different, and you weren't, you had to keep going to achievements, seeing what skills they were, what their tags were, and everything like that. Just a fantastic quality of life to help with building and theory crafting without looking too far than just the skill list tree over here. So that's fantastic addition over there. Next is the most important one, is that from the Chaos Walker all the way to the Death Knight, each of them got their fourth weapon. You craft it in the blacksmith, using the epic, rare, uncommon and common materials. That's quite a few materials, especially for the uncommon and commons, but the rare, I think it was like 100 or maybe 80 to 100 epic materials. If you've been playing like I have for quite a long time, you should have plenty of them. Then we've also got runes. There are 22 runes. We can go through all of them slowly as we test them all out, but a couple few that I want to mention is one, omnipotent. It says when using this rune, all skills of all characters and weapons that you have already unlocked will be added to the pool of possible skills. Although it is a 0 runic cost, you can't add it if you don't have the slots, but it is a bait, guys. I say it's a bait because each character already has so many skills. I mean, that's a lot of skills. What's that? 5, and then we've got 6 down. That's 30, 34, 37 skills plus the starting skills. And then if we had to add all of the starting skills as well, that's 8 per character. There are 14 characters. That's a lot of maths. 114, or sorry, 112, 102. Eventually I'll get my maths right. That's 102 extra skills that you are adding to the skill pool. So not really something that you want to mess with unless you really want to go for like an all random build. Then you go for omnipotent, and you can even grab something like this, where it says it increases your damage by 10%, but all your active skills are chosen randomly and cannot be changed. So if you did want to go for like an all random, you don't pick anything kind of build, then omnipotent and gambler are very good together. Alright, next big ones that we're looking for that could go well together is something like all of nothing, where it increases all your movement speed, your damage, crit chance and crit damage, but your health is set to 1 and it cannot be increased. And that might work very well with War Tank, where it increases your block power by 50%. So there's quite a few little interchangeable runes that work well together. We are going to go through quite a few. We are going to look at them through different builds as well. So we'll try builds. We're going to try to do some challenges where we use the all of nothing and the War Tank. There's Impaler over here, which is just damage dealt every so often. 20% chance of an enemy being killed for spears to fall down and deal damage in the area. We got oscillating power, where your damage amount varies between 80% and negative 20%, so you can actually deal no damage at all sometimes, or you can deal 80% increased damage. Ready for battle, so the first 5 levels will actually give you all skills. That does currently it's applying every overlord cycle, so you'll get 5 skills at the beginning of that. I think that's just because Overlord cycles and Endless cycles are considered new runs, even though they aren't an actual new run, so it works and might get changed in the future. We've got Quality Standard, where all power-ups will be at least uncommon, and you can mix that with the other rune, where was it again? I think it was Commoner. So you can really have the Commoner, an uncommon run where you run Quality Standards and Commoner, and you're only going to land up getting yourself uncommon runes or rare, power-ups, not runes, because you're only going to be able to get uncommon and rare because epic, legendary, and common are going to be blocked out. So really interesting runs that can come out of that as well. Unexpected Arsenal is very similar to your Omnipotent, but Unexpected Arsenal is only for the single character. So Omnipotent's every single character, Unexpected Arsenal is the character you're currently using. What other interesting ones did we get that we currently have? There's these three over here at the bottom, which are for minions mostly, or versatile strengths for anything. What it does is it increases your damage by 3 for each different type of power-up. So if you have 3 magnetics, you have 1 common, uncommon, and rare. That only counts as a 3% damage increase because it doesn't affect the same power-ups and different rarities. So it has to be a whole bunch. That just becomes okay, well, for 30 levels, I'm just going to randomly click on something I don't have yet, and that's going to give you 90% increased damage. That works very, very well with minions because they gain strength from your runes as well. And then you also got Harmony, which the more active summons units you have, you gain 2% per active summon units up to 80%. So you would need, 40 active units. That's very easy with the rats, as well as bunnies and some of the other runes. So like the new one on the Beastmaster, the Spider Cocoon, I think you can have quite a lot of spiderlings spawning at any given time. So it works very, very well with a lot of the skills. You also have Extra Help, which works, synergizes really well with Harmony, where you get a maximum active unit and quantity of units summoned by all of your skills is increased by 1. So if we again take an example as like Swampor, the maximum number of units is 6. So with this rune, it will automatically make it 7, and it summons 2 boars, but you will summon 3 boars at any given time. Especially if you have multicast and things like that, you can summon more than the 2 allotted that it says if you have this rune. So there we go, that's how that rune works. So there's a lot of runes. We're going to go through them again when we do some specific build guides for them. Next, we've got the skill tree. So as you can see, we've got our circle completed, and then we've also got the skill tree for the Chaos Knight, the Chaos Knight and the Necromancer. There's the Chaos Knight, there's the Necromancer. All of the characters now have their Ascensions as well. The Necromancer summons an Abomination. You can only have a maximum of 8 of them on the field at the same time, and it looks like they last for an entire minute before they despawn. But we'll get a lot of videos out on all the different ones as well, but we're going to go through them quickly. The Legionnaire, he creates catapults like you saw in the thumbnail. Actually, we left him off of the thumbnail because it was just too big of an image. But he creates catapults on the map, and they stay there forever. They cannot get hit. I think the Void Presence might be able to destroy them. I haven't actually looked at that yet. I will look at it. But so he gets that bombard enemies all across the map. So really, really cool for just additional damage, especially in the Overlord cycles. Chaos Knight, he's a collector. You collect the enemy souls, and then you can summon 3 additional knights to fight by your side, which is pretty decent as well. Then the other ones that we landed up getting, I'm just going to find them now. We got the Chaos Walker over here. He gets chaos or chaotic energy from fallen enemies, and then he is able to go to these towers that are on the map, and they give him different power-ups. I think there's 4 or 5 of them, but when we do the video on it, we will actually show you all of them. We've then got our Beastmaster. The Beastmaster finds exotic beasts, so you follow a track that spawns every 34 seconds, I believe it was, and you step on the feet, so they give you movement speed as well, so that you can go to them, and it summons a surprise at the end. Again, not going to mention what it is. Again, thumbnail kind of gives it away as well, but he summons beasts. He also has a pet now, like the Houndmaster had the dogs. The Beastmaster now has wolves that he summons, which is pretty cool, and they also deal damage. So there you go, he now has a new companion type. He gets 3 wolves that follow him around the map as well. The assassin gets bounties, so every so often during a run, you'll see a little bar appear at the bottom, and you know, an enemy will spawn. You need to kill that enemy, and you'll get a random buff from killing that enemy. And then the last but not least is the Elementalist, which is Elemental Overload. You collect, as you kill enemies, and the more curse you have, the more drops you get of these. It applies for all of the different classes and characters, but the higher the curse, the easier it is to get their Ascensions up and going. Especially these ones where you have to collect from fallen dead enemies. So in this case, the Elementalist, you collect these elemental orbs. There's a whole bunch of different colors for each element, and then when you collect 3 of them, he releases a burst of energy depending on the types of orbs you've collected. So also really, really good. The only bad thing that came from this is that the Spellblade, the Barbarian, and the Paladin got nerfs to their gimmicky passives in the skill tree. So when we took a look at their specific upgrades, the ones that they affected them, let me just try and find it. Okay, I know where it is on the Spellblade, so let's go to him. So over here where it said whenever you take damage, reduce all damage taken by 2.5 for 7 seconds, may stack up to 3 times. This used to be infinite and last for 5 seconds. So in 5 seconds you could have as much damage accumulate, or as much damage reduction accumulate for those 5 seconds. They've now capped it to 7.5 damage reduction, so a big nerf to that. And there's also been a bit of a nerf to bunnies, to the to the summon archers, as well as the summon mages. So summon archers, summon mages, and the summon helper elves as well as bunnies did get a nerf as well. Bunnies was a 15% nerf, and I cannot remember the exact figures for this, but it is in the patch notes and you'll see when they do come out. So something to take note of. And then the last and final thing is that the last map that, or the most recent map that got updated was the Frozen Wastelands, and there are now a whole bunch of new enemies for us to explore in there. So I hope you guys are looking forward to the new patch. I am definitely looking forward to it. There isn't going to be any gameplay today, unfortunately, but we are going to get into that in the future, so do look out for videos like that. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know down in the comment section what you guys are most excited to try out, what rune combination, and always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.